Good afternoon, all of you. We'll wait for 5 more minutes to see whether others are joining, and then we can start the introductory session. So, as I said, today I couldn't make it to the Faraday Institute physically because I'm not well with fever, severe fever, and diarrhea. So, I had to cancel the morning 2027 theory class as well and to reschedule it. So today we'll be having a very short introductory session to talk about the biology and to talk about how your A-level career goes. Um, so I hope this session will be helpful, and this is a free session, so feel free to share the link with your friends and ask them to join. We'll wait for a couple of minutes and start our session. Also, please feel free to unmute your mic and speak if you have any doubts. And also, if you have doubts, you can message me personally in the chat as well. All right. A very good afternoon to the 2028 A-level students. So you all are new to A-levels and you all are the people who are going to sit for the A-levels in 2028. You have just completed your ordinary levels and stepping into a very important journey of your life. because A level is what decides your entire career and your life. Although O level was, O level was a certain hurdle in your life, it does not define your life. Okay, O level does not define your life. And also, once again, I'll tell, I wanted to do the class physically today, but I'm not well with severe fever and diarrhea. So this will be a very short introductory session. And also this is free. Please share the link with your friends and ask them to join as well, so that you can understand how the class goes and you can understand the concepts of biology. You can understand what biology is and then go through this journey. So talking about biology, the biology stream. Okay, we'll talk about biology stream a bit. Honestly, you have chosen one of the most competitive fields. You have chosen one of the most competitive fields in the advanced levels, because around 80,000 students sit for the exam every year and only around 2,100 gets the entrance to the medical faculty. It's almost 3% of this amount. Okay, so this is a huge competition. If you don't take this for granted, what I'm saying is this is a very huge competition. I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm trying to make you understand the depth and the value of A levels. Okay. And I know most of you who start A levels in the biological stream, you want to enter the medical faculty. Okay, medical faculty in a government university of Sri Lanka. So the medical faculty in the Government University of Sri Lanka is completely free. It's completely free, which means the government spends around 80 to 90 lakhs for your education. 80 to 90 lakhs for your education. But if you are about to get this medical degree in somewhere abroad, it will cost you around 200 lakhs. It will cost you around 200 lakhs. So the advanced levels is very important because it gives you free education, and also the Sri Lankan MBBS degree is accepted anywhere in the world, because this is one of the hardest as well as one of the most standard medical degrees. All right. And apart from that, now, the path for your medical career, or the path for you to become a doctor or a dental doctor or maybe a veterinary doctor, lies in your advanced levels. So you have to do your advanced levels really well in order to become a doctor or whoever it is. That doesn't mean just because you pass your A levels, they will give you the MBBS degree or the dental degree to your hand. That doesn't mean that. Okay. You have to, like, the pathway after you finish A levels, the medical exams, they are really hard, but still there's no competition. Even if you take more than 50 there, you will be passed. Here, okay, here in A levels, sometimes even if you get 3 A's, you will not be able to enter the medical faculty, because there's something called the Z score. So just getting a 75 mark A is not enough. You have to try your best to score the best, because you should always try to enter the best university. Okay, just because there are so many people who has got 3 A's and still their Z score is not enough to grant the entrance to the medical faculty. So basically, this Z score is what determines your entry to the medical faculty. So for that, you should be able to perform really well, not just to get an A, but to get a better A. Okay, you should prepare for a better A. Now, I'm just 4 years elder than you, and I'm a first-year medical student at the University of Peradeniya. So I have been in your shoes, and I understand the hardships that the A-level student goes through in their A-level career. And I know how people misguide the A-level students to do this, that sometimes I have heard that some A-level students, they are encouraged to do A-levels in Sinhala medium or Tamil medium, having their first language as English medium. Trust me, that's a waste. That's a entire waste, because now you have enough resources for English medium A levels. At the same time, when you do A levels in other mediums like Sinhala or Tamil medium, you will definitely struggle to survive in the first year of the university, because in the university, they're not going to teach you either in sing hello Tamil. So I'm so thankful and I'm so grateful that you all chose to do your A-level career in English medium. All right. Now, talking about biology. So, biology, most people have this mindset. Biology, easy to study, just to memorize, and we can get an A very easily. We have the resource book, it's very easy. This is the mindset they have for biology. So, they focus more on physics and chemistry. Lama, it's not the case. Biology, you cannot ace biology like that. You cannot get an A in biology like that. For example, in my year, in 2024 A level, the fail rate is highest for the subject biology, which means people take biology for granted and therefore they make the biggest mistake in their A level career. So, on your first day of your A level career, I'm telling you, biology is as equally important as the other subjects. Okay, in your biology paper, you have an MCQ paper and a part 2 paper. Okay, this is your exam structure. The MCQ will be held on a day and the part 2 will be held on the other day. Both papers are not held together in your final exam. MCQ consists of 50 MCQs and they will give you 2 hours for this paper. Okay, in these 50 MCQs, Lamai, 40 MCQs are to choose the single best answer. That means there is a certain question and they will give you 5 answers. You have to choose the best answer, best appropriate answer. And the last 10 MCQs will be A, B, C, D, E type of questions. That means in a single MCQ, they will have 5 statements as A, B, C, D, E. Okay, you have to go through each statement and understand whether those statements are true or false, and then there will be a certain mark. For example, suppose when you went through this question, statement A, C, D were true, the other 2 were false. Then your answer will be answer number 2. Likewise, there is a certain table that is given in the paper. Now, for example, if A, B, D answers are true, your answer is answer number 1. If A, C, D are true, answer is answer number 2. If A and B are true, answer is answer number 3. If C and D are correct, answer is answer number 4. For any other combination, the answer is answer number 5. So for that, you have to have a thorough knowledge of your entire syllabus in order to answer these type of questions. And also, biology is not easy. Okay, biology is not easy. Now, starting from our year, which is 2024, the MCQs are becoming harder and harder. That means the MCQs are becoming logical. Just because you know the theory, you can't answer the questions. You should have a thorough understanding of the question pattern. You should be able to integrate between the lessons. You should have a good practice on the past papers as well as the school papers in order to ace your exams. Now, as I said you have 50 MCQs in your paper. Out of these 50 MCQs, a good student should be able to mark at least more than 43 or 44. Don't think this is easy without study. This becomes easy only if you study. Okay, so for example, I have one of my friends, she got 42 MCQs in the part 1 paper, but still she has a C. Why? Some people think just because you ace in the MCQs, you will enter the medical faculty. Not like that. Part 2 is also very important. In your part 2, you have 4 structured essay questions and 4 essay questions. Some people don't even practice for essays. Without practicing for essays, don't think in the last minute you can, finish the paper within the given time. Just because you had 50 out of 50 MCQs in part 1, that doesn't guarantee you an A. Okay, for acing part 2, you need to have a good practice in part 2 as well, which is in the writing skills. Okay, the writing aspect. So this is the basis of the paper. All right, do you all have any doubts regarding this? When I share the screen, I can't see you all. Like, whether you all are messaging. Let me come back to the Zoom screen. Do you have any doubts? Guys, feel free to unmute your mic and speak or drop me a message. And don't think like, I'm a teacher more than I'm a teacher. Like, I want to be a friendly senior with you because I'm just 4 years elder than you. I'm always saying you can be a friend, like a friend, okay? Not like bro friendship, but like a friend with me. And I'll help you with anything, okay? Even if you need advice in chemistry, physics, I'll help you with that. Even if you need you know ideas with study plans, I can help you with that whenever I'm free. Now, I'm also not free. Like, I'm a medical student, so I have lectures during the weekdays, and also I also have my exams. But amidst that, this is my passion. That's why I'm teaching. So whenever I'm free, whenever I get time, I quickly try to help you all. I also want you to come to the position where I am. That's my pure intention. All right. So this is the basic idea of your paper. All right. Now, let's talk about the syllabus, Lamai. Okay. Are you all scared by now? Dhamma Bible no, right? Dhamma Bible okay. My Tamil is really bad. Anyways, don't be scared right now. Okay, this is just the trailer that I'm showing you all. This will be really like, we are completing this step by step. We have 2 more years to go. Okay, within those 2 more years, we have a proper plan. We are nicely completing unit by unit, having proper practice, and then study tips. And according to those study tips, midterm exams. With all these, only we are going to sit for the final exam. So just by looking at the exam plan and the syllabus, you don't have to be scared by now, because not only you, there are many people who did this, who entered the medical faculty. If they are capable, if I'm capable, you are capable as well. Okay. And another thing, before I get into the syllabus, I want to tell you, maybe you have been the first in the class. Maybe you get 9 A's from your what do you call all your results. Or maybe 8 A's, or maybe island first. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That doesn't mean that you will get 3 A's in your A levels, because A level is not about the intelligence, Lamai. A level is all about what? It is all about the hard work you put into that. If you work hard, definitely the results are guaranteed. One of my teachers used to say when I was doing A levels, you don't write A levels with your brain. Okay, you write A levels with your spinal cord. I hope you have an understanding what a spinal cord is. Okay, you might have studied in your O levels. You don't write A levels from your brain, you write A levels from your spinal cord. That means you don't write A levels from the intelligence you have, but with the practice you have. The more you practice, trust me, your results will be guaranteed. Now, for example, in my A level journey, I did my A levels within 1 year and 2 months due to some other issues. So, during this 1 year and 2 months, Lamai, I did a lot of practice. For example, in my grade 13 first term, my physics marks was just 36. Okay, not just MCQs. For the whole paper, it was 36 out of 100. But today, I am I have 3 A's, and my island rank is 357, which comes under the merit list, and I'm district rank 12th. So is it possible for you all to do? Definitely possible, because I got this 36 marks when I had 10 months for the exams, and I could make that 36 into an a good A. That's why I have a good rank. So if it was possible for me during 10 months, if you start working from the beginning, definitely it's possible for you. And another thing that people do, a mistake the students, new students do in A levels is that from day one, okay, from day one, they try to work 10 hours a day. There's nothing for you to study for 10 hours a day when you're beginning your first term. Okay, when you work around 4 to 5 hours a day with enough self-study and enough practice, that's more than enough in your first term. Okay, A level is a marathon, Lamai. That means in the marathon, you start slowly and increase your progress. If you start faster, by the time you reach 2028, you will be tired. You will be hectic. You will give up on this. Do you want yourself to give up on this? No, right? You want to do this somehow. So start slow. Okay, start slow. That doesn't mean you don't have to study at all. I'm saying start slower and do it every day. What's important is consistency. The consistency is your key. Sometimes there are days you don't feel like working. You're so tired. You feel like, yo, what is this? You feel that. And even on such a day, if you can't work 4 to 5 hours a day, Lamai, work for 30 minutes to 1 hour. That's enough. This is what I mean by consistency. Work every day, but maybe you can't work every day with the same pace, and that's completely fine. That's completely fine. Okay, right. Now, without further delay, let's get into the syllabus. I'll just tell about biology. Okay, now we were talking about the entire A levels overall, right? Now, in your biology syllabus, Lamai, we have 10 units. We have 10 units in your biology syllabus. Okay, the first unit of your biology syllabus is the most easiest and the smallest unit. Actually, the first unit is kind of a summary of all the units. Okay, first unit is like a summary of all the units. So sometimes, in order to completely understand the first unit, you have to finish the entire syllabus. But first unit is not that complicated. It's very easy. You will get around one simple question or maybe one MCQ from this unit 1. Lamai, remember, one MCQ is 1 mark from your whole paper. 1 mark sometimes can determine 50 ranks. That means, suppose your friend has 87 marks for the biology paper and you have 86 marks for the biology paper. Sometimes her rank will be 100 all island and your rank can be 148 just because of 1 mark. Okay, this can happen. So your one MCQ is very, very, very important in your final exams, in the final paper. So the first unit is the easiest unit. Okay, it is very easy and very simple. And then we have, sorry, I can't talk continuously. I have cough also. So first unit is the very easiest unit. Then we have unit 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, these are the units. Now, Lamai, if I talk about the overall syllabus a bit, in unit 2, you are going to learn about the chemical compounds like carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, nucleic acids, and the cell structure. And also maybe you have heard something called the enzymes. We'll be learning about the enzymes. And then photosynthesis, cellular respiration. These processes we'll be learning. Unit 2 is really important. Then in unit 3, we will be learning about the evolution. Okay. And then we have different types of plants, different types of what do you call animals, different types of fungi, different types of viruses. We'll be learning about that in unit 3. In unit 4, we'll be learning about the plants, the plant form and the function. What are the different types of cells and what are the different transportation methods in plants and the reproductive methods in plants, the plant growth hormones. Likewise, there's a lot in unit 4. And then unit 5, we are learning about the animal body, basically the human body. This is the largest unit of your syllabus and the most important unit of your syllabus. Here we are learning about 10 systems. We are learning about the tissues, digestive system, excretory system, circulatory system, respiratory system, nervous system. Okay, I'm not trying to scare you. So altogether there are 10 systems that we are going to study here. Now in unit 5, 5 systems are included in your grade 12 syllabus and the rest included in your grade 13 syllabus. Okay, so the grade 12 and grade 13 separates from unit 5. And then unit 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, they are contents of grade 13. In unit 6, you will be learning about genetics. Unit 7, you will be learning about DNA in detail. And then unit 8, we'll be learning about the environmental biology. That means regarding the environment, we have different types of forests and the rainforest, the montane forests, and then we have savannas, patana. Likewise, there is a lot. All these we will be learning in 2028 probably, okay? And then in unit 9, we'll be learning about the microorganisms. And then unit 10 will be learning about something called the applied biology, where we'll be learning about modern applications of biology. Okay. Now, a heads up I want to give you is, Lamai, this unit 7, 8, 9, 10 is entirely memorization. Entirely memorization without a proper logic. But the first 6 units are not like that. There is a proper logic. You have a certain skeleton in your head, and through that skeleton you can build up the concept and memorize it. Lamai, memorizing with a logic is easier than memorizing without a logic. So why I'm saying that now? Because don't wait for the final year to memorize the first few units. When you study that unit, revise every week, memorize it, because biology is all about memorization with understanding, Lamai. Okay. Now, some people might say you to refer this note, that note, that sir's note, this sir's note, entirely waste. As a person who did A levels and who got selected to medical faculty, I'll say you, external notes are a waste. What you need, your note should be your biology resource book. Those who have not purchased the biology resource book, please purchase the biology resource book. Don't try to refer the PDF. I'll study with the PDF. Antima waste. Okay. Please purchase the biology resource book. I think you have a website called A Level Copier. This is the website where I purchased my biology resource book. Okay, and also that is available in NIE, National Education Institute, that it is available there as well. If anyone is around Columbia, you can get it from Maharagama. And also it will be available in other bookshops as well. So first thing is, before starting biology, purchase the resource book. All right. Any doubts up to now? Any doubts? Lama, you all can talk to me. Just think that I'm like an elder sister and a senior to you. You can talk to me very friendly. Okay, you can message me anytime. Maybe I might not reply you then and there, I'm also busy, right? But I'll definitely reply you, okay? Now, we'll talk a bit about the MCQs, Lama. Now, our syllabus is the new syllabus. So, the new syllabus was established in 2019. So we can do past papers only from 2019 up to now. Now, it's not the case in the other two subjects. In physics and chemistry, you can do 2011 or 2000 past papers as well. But in biology, trying past papers before 2019 will stress you and also will depress you. Why? The reason is, after 2019 only, they introduced something called the resource book. Before 2019, they did not have a resource book. They had something called the teacher's guide. So, a teacher, by referring to the teacher's guide, they gave a note. So, from teacher to teacher, the note was varying. So, therefore, the questions also we can't predict. This much amount will also only come here. Okay. But after 2019, we have a resource book. Now we have a certain frame. They will take questions only within this frame. Okay, they will not cross this frame. So the frame is your resource book. The government will never ever take the A-level paper. They will never ever make the A-level paper outside the frame called the resource book. Okay, sometimes you will do model papers, you will do, the FWC papers or Moratorium papers, whatever it is, they will have some other extra content as well. But this extra content will never appear in your A-level paper. I can 100% guarantee that. Go through the past papers and see. Okay, so as I said you, the MCQs are very important. Now, this is an MCQ analysis from 2019 to 2024. According to the unit wise, okay, according to the units. So can you see, I said, unit 5 is the most important unit of your syllabus, because can you see the amount of MCQs that have appeared from the unit 5? It's around 17 in 2019, 16 in 2020. So it's a lot. 17 marks, 16 marks. So it's a lot. And also, can you see, unit 2, 7 MCQs, 6 MCQs. So every year when they make the paper, there is a certain number of MCQs that they always get from a certain unit. Now, for example, from unit 5, it's around 16 to 17 MCQs. Can you remember I said you, from unit 1, only one single question will appear because it's a very small unit. Only one single question will appear. So now, see, now in 2021, there are no questions at all from Unit 1 in the MCQ paper. Okay, so this MCQ analysis is really important for you to, practice for the MCQs. Lamai, now in MCQs, okay, now suppose we complete the Unit 1. When you complete the Unit 1, I will always guide you to write reviews. Okay. Now the reviews that you write for MCQs is not a single line. It is not a single line. Okay. In biology, writing reviews is basically practicing you to write essays. I want you to practice for essays. So I want you to write reviews so that it will make you practice more for essays. Okay. So for example, if we finish Unit 1, now you take all the papers from 2019 to 2025. Now 2025 is also there now. So you take all the papers, and then, for example, let's take the 2019 paper. In the 2019 paper, Lamai, the first question is, what is the structural and functional unit of life? Now, even through your O-level knowledge, you know the answer. What is the structural and functional unit of life? Cell. Now, my expectation for you to write a review is not like this. The structural and functional unit of life is the cell. That is not a review. For a review, you have to write everything regarding the cell that is in your resource book. Okay. Now, when you study Unit 2, you will get a lot of knowledge about the cell. Okay. There are two types of cellular organization. There's something called the cell theory, and cell theory was proposed by 3 people, and there are certain contents in the cell theory. So, likewise, you are writing everything you know about the cell. Okay, so this will be around 1 CR page. So when you finish one unit or when you finish one section, refer to the past papers, and then I want you to have the MCQ papers printed separately, MCQs printed separately for the past papers, and also I want you to have a what you call full step bundle. Okay, so whenever you finish a certain unit, you take the 2019 paper, you go through the first question, you take one full step paper, write the review, and attach it to your 2019 printed MCQ paper. Likewise, we are doing this throughout your syllabus. Okay, throughout your syllabus. Trust me, this is very important. Now, recently only I started the 2027 class as well. Those kids, they are writing reviews and they are showing the reviews to me. Sometimes they don't understand how to write reviews. They call me, they ask me, and they write reviews and bring it to the class. I'm really happy to see how enthusiastic they are in doing that. Okay, if you keep if you think like you can finish all the 10 units and write the reviews, no, because in grade 13 you will not even imagine the stress you will have, because the content in chemistry will increase, the content in physics will increase. You will forget what you study in biology. So you have to revise it again and again and again. You have to write papers. You have to complete past papers. You will run for revision classes. Okay, you will run for paper classes. Then the time you have is very limited. Okay, so start working from day one. That's why I say that, because don't keep it for the last moment. Some people give up not because they don't have the ability, but because they cannot tolerate the stress. Okay, now, this is an example for a review. This is 2023 A-level biology. Actually, these reviews, even if you go through, you will not understand because you don't know the content. So see, for the first MCQ, the review is this much. For the second MCQ, the review is this much. For the third MCQ, so it's not just a 1 line or a 2 line. You write everything you know about that theory content in your MCQ review. So these are actually my reviews that I wrote during my A-levels. So I will be sharing some reference reviews for you all as well when you join the theory class and when we go on through the course. Okay. And I'll check your reviews once in a while as well. All right. The other thing. Okay. Now, some people might advise you, buy review books. Okay. Buy essay books. Now, there are books like this, classified essays. Okay. Classified reviews. Okay. For physics and chemistry, it's okay to buy review books. For physics and chemistry, you have a lot of calculations. So definitely you need to have a review book. Now, for example, for physics, it's better to get Rosas's review books. And also for chemistry, I don't know whether there are any English medium review books, but for Sinhala medium, there is a sir called Faris sir. His reviews are really good. I bought his reviews. Okay, if you want, you can buy that. That's an additional information. But for biology, why I'm saying not to buy review books or essay books is that, Lama, it's a way of marketing, because the reviews and the essay books will have the same resource book printed there. They will have the same resource book printed there. So do you need to spoon feed everything for yourself like that? Don't you train your brain to think and write what's important? Okay, you have to train your brain. You can't spoon feed everything into your brain and sit for A-levels and ACO exams. So please don't go through review books, don't buy essay books, and don't go through external notes as well. Okay, and then I will be in my class, I'll be giving you notes. Okay, I'll be giving you notes for your understanding. So for that, you need to have a separate book. And also, what I am saying is, rather than studying the notes I give you, the notes I give you is to understand what's in the resource book. Okay, but when you study, please study your resource book. This is my advice to anyone. I'm saying there may be colored printed notes in other classes. There will be colored, bundles of notes in other classes. Notes are not important. External notes are shit. Okay. What you need is your resource book to ace your A-levels. And then I also need you to have a small book, and that is where we prepare the definition booklet. Definition booklet in the sense, now for example, suppose there is a question in your structured essay paper, what is growth? Okay, what is growth? So in the resource book, growth is what? Growth is the irreversible changes in the irreversible increase in the dry mass of the cell. Okay, that is one theory point. Irreversible increase in the dry mass of the cell is what you call as growth. So in the structured essay paper, if they ask you what is growth, and if you write irreversible change in the organism size or something like that, they'll not give you marks. They'll give you marks only to the statement that is exactly there in the resource book. So when you study throughout your A-level career, so when you study in one class, when you find definitions, you take the book, you open your definition booklet, you write down that definition. So you compile the definitions because you need the definitions to memorize as it is in the resource book to get the full marks. Okay, right. That is regarding the definition booklet. Also, now when we go through our theory, in unit 1, there are no essays because I said unit 1 is just a very, very, very small unit. And then we'll have unit 2. So when we go through the unit 2, then we'll start practicing essays as well. So for essays, I don't ask you to take a separate book or anything. If you want, you can take a separate book and write, or else you can use CR papers and write as your wish. Okay, as your wish, because you all are not kids anymore. You all are A-level students. You all should have a maturity. You all should know what's necessary for you. Okay, right. So that's all regarding the biology and the surrounding that is important for you to, go through this career of A-levels. So do you all have any doubts, any questions to ask? Okay, I have received 2 messages. Yeah, I'll say what a writing review is. Is there a specific structure for the paper, teacher? Does it change year to year for both part 1 and part 2? No, dear, it doesn't change year to year. There is one specific structure, as I said you. There is part 1, which has MCQs, 50 MCQs, 40 MCQs from the single best answer, and 10 MCQs, as I said you, A, B, C, D, E questions. And the MCQ analysis that I provided you here, can you see? This MCQ analysis that I provided you here gives you a rough understanding on how many MCQs will appear from each unit. Now, for example, when you go through these values, now just, go through the values of unit 4. So can you see from unit 4, every year they have taken only 6 to 7 MCQs. This is a certain fixed count that is there in the examination department. Okay, this is a fixed count. They will take only 6 to 7 MCQs from the unit 4. They'll take only 1 or 2 MCQs from unit 10. Okay, they'll take only 2 or 3 MCQs from unit 6. Likewise, there is a fixed MCQ count. Okay, and in part 2 also, in part 2 you have two parts, two sections. No, one is the structured essay. In structured essays lama you have 4 structured essays, 4 SCQs, and then you have essays. Okay, essays, they will give you around 6 essays. Out of 6 you have to choose 4 and write. Okay, for each essay they will give you 150 marks. Then altogether for the 4 essays you will score 600 marks. For each structured essay, they'll give you 100 marks, and altogether it's 400 marks. Okay. Now, for the second part, it's altogether how many marks? It's 1000 marks. Okay. For MCQ, 1 mark for each MCQ, so totally 50 MCQs means 50 marks. Okay. Now, in your final, the final result that you get, that is out of 100, no, out of 100, this 50 is entirely from the MCQs. That means one MCQ is 1 mark in your final paper. But when it comes to the second part, this 1000 marks is divided by 20 and then calculated to 50. Then only that will be added to the rest, and final 100 will be produced. The out of 1000, suppose out of 1000 you get 800 marks, so 800 will be divided by 20, it will be 40, and 50 plus 40 will be 90. This is how your final result is produced. So 90 is a grade A. Okay, it's a grade A. You will understand that it's really hard to score 90 in any of your A-level subjects. Chemistry, it's easy, but biology and physics, it's kind of hard to go for 90. But if you're a very well performing, very well working student, 90 will be nothing. Okay, right. A student has asked how to write reviews. Now, for example, as I said you, once again, I'll tell you very quickly because this is an introductory session. Okay. Now, as I said to you, the 2019 first question is, what is the structural and functional unit of life? Now, it is the cell. Okay, now you are going to write about the cell. Now, I'm going to say some theory contents which you don't know just because she asked how to write a review. Okay, so this will give you a rough idea how to write a review. Now, when you're writing this about the cell, you're writing cell is the structural and functional unit of life. And then the cell theory. There's something called the cell theory. This was there in all levels as well, I remember, but I don't know whether the syllabus is changed for you all. Okay, cell theory. There are 3 theories under the cell theory. You are going to write about those 3 cell theories, and this cell theory was proposed by 3 scientists, and then you are going to mention about the scientist's name as well. All these you are writing as a paragraph, Lamai. In your essay paper, in the final exams, you can't write in point form. Essays are not written in point forms. Essays are not written as a table. If you write in point form or in as a table, even though your points are correct, they will definitely give you 0 marks. Okay, you have to write essays as a paragraph. Essay is a paragraph. Then there are 2 types of cellular organization, as prokaryotic cellular organization and eukaryotic cellular organization. Then you write about these prokaryotes and eukaryotes. There are similarities between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cellular organization, as well as there's a lot of differences between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cellular organization. When you study unit 2, you will understand in unit 2, there is a whole big table for the differences between prokaryotic and the eukaryotic cellular organization. Now, there can be an essay question in your paper. Compare the differences between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cellular organization. Now, what is the question? Compare the differences between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cellular organization. So, the question is to compare. In your resource book, it is a table. Are you going to draw the table in your essay? If you draw the table, you won't get marks. So, then you have to write whatever they are in the table as a paragraph. So in order to write whatever they are in the table as a paragraph, you need to practice, right? So to practice, see, this review writing is helpful. So when you write the review, when you write the differences between the prokaryotes and eukaryotes that is there in the table as a paragraph, all right, you got an idea how to write it. Even if it is, if it appears in your exams, that's not a problem for you. Now you know how to compare and write it. Okay, so that's why that's the importance of writing reviews. Is that clear? Because we'll be where can we purchase the books? Now this book, what do you call the resource book, you can purchase it from nie.lk and also A Level Courier. It's a website. I bought it from there. A Level Courier. Try this in Google. A Level Courier.lk. Also, those who are in Kandy, there's this bookshop next to Badiuddin called the Netra Bookshop. In Netra Bookshop, they print it and sell it. But the thing is, print is black and white, not the colored print. So those who need the colored print can get through the website, or else you can get through Netra Bookshop as well. Okay. Anything else that you want to ask? Because this is an introductory session, I'll be ending the session soon. I'm extremely sorry for that. I'm so tired and I have an influenza fever, I guess. But definitely next week you'll be starting the physical class, physically as well as online. It'll be at the same time. Now, you can ask your doubts, Lamai. You can talk to me. Hmm? If you feel, if you feel ashamed to talk, you can basically drop me a message even in WhatsApp, no problem. You can give me a call and ask about the A-level career. And sometimes they can tell you, go to this class, that class. Don't do class shopping. Maybe at the beginning, go for 2 classes, and maybe in a couple of months, maybe around 2 months, choose one class out of the two. What is best for you, choose it. Okay. Don't go for multiple classes. And there's no point of it, because when you go to your latter part of your first year and the second year, you won't have time for multiple classes. In what's important, and another point I want to say you, wait, I'm getting another doubt. How to build a study plan, okay? I'll give you some rough ideas, okay? Now, yeah, what I was about to say was this. Now, people sometimes think the classes you go will increase your results. The number of classes you go will increase your results. That's what some people think. Now, I'll tell you, the number of classes is inversely proportional to your results. The number of classes does not define your result. What defines your results is the self-study. Self-study is directly proportional to your results. This is what I can say. As a person who did the A-levels in 1 year and 2 months, trust me, I did not go to a single paper class. I did not go to a single paper class. I was a A-level private candidate, so I did not have the ability to, write the term test. So because of that reason only, you might have heard by now itself, there are teachers called Amila Dasanayaka. There's a teacher called Amila Dasanayaka who teaches chemistry in Sinhala medium. So he has this, what you call, A-level examination centers, some examination centers. I went to those examination centers for around 2 months to write and see a paper, just to see whether I'm capable of writing a paper within that given time and getting a good mark. Just for that practice. Now, if you're going to school, you don't even need that actually, because your term tests are more than enough to give you an exam exposure. Okay. And regarding the study plan, Lamai, I'll tell you like this. Okay. For now, the study plan is like this. For biology, whatever you study in the class then and there, finish it off, go home and revise it again. Now, for example, if you have the class on Saturday, the next class is on next Saturday. Now you have 1 week in between. So Saturday, go home and revise once. And then maybe around Wednesday, revise for the second time. And then Friday, revise for the third time. Revising is not just staring at the book. Now, my advice is it's better if you can, read it aloud. Because why I'm saying that is, whatever the content that is in the resource book, it's going to appear. No? And also you have to write the same way that is in the resource book in your second part. So what I believe is, when you read it aloud, you are reading it at the same time your ears are hearing it once again. So it's basically visual learning as well as auditory learning. It's more effective in my point of view. Okay, so it's better if you can do that. And also you are going for chemistry classes as well as physics classes. No, now you have enough time to practice a lot of questions. When you come to the second year, sometimes you don't have time to finish the tutorials that is given by your teachers also. So therefore, Lamai, now your chemistry and physics teachers, they will give you a lot of model questions to practice. Practice those questions. Go through all the questions and practice. And also for physics and chemistry, get the Pesuru MCQ classified book. Pesuru MCQ classified book. So this Pesuru MCQ classified books are really important because you can finish one section and practice all the past paper MCQs in that section. Okay, do that. And then maybe in chemistry, when you study the first unit, you will understand there's a lot of scientists and there are a lot of inventions of those scientists. Okay, so for that, what you have to do is prepare a small chart. Prepare a small chart regarding scientists, the scientist and the invention. Why I'm saying this is important when you go to your second year. When you don't have time to go through the entire note of unit 1, you quickly go through this chart and then spot your answer. Okay, that's how you study. That's how you prepare yourself for the storm that is upcoming. Okay, A level is not easy. Okay, it's hard. That's why people are, people work this much, and also people struggle this much, and also especially getting selected to the medical faculty. The cream of the country gets selected to the medical faculty. That means the best performing students. And to become the best performing, it's not easy. You have to work hard. And another thing I would say is, if you have Instagram, if you have Facebook, if you have TikTok or whatever it is, please uninstall them for these 2 years. Please uninstall them for these 2 years. Okay, I did not even have my own phone during A levels. Okay, my parents did not give me an own phone, but I had an Instagram account, but I deactivated it. Okay, I had it in my mama's phone, but I deactivated it. It's really better if you can deactivate all of this. Okay, that's a advice I would give you as a big sister. Please deactivate all of that. And also, some people think like this: if your friend, suppose there are two people A and B, if A and B are friends, A does whatever B does. Okay, A does whatever B does. Don't be like that. If your friend is choosing whatever is okay for her, you choose whatever is okay for you. Be independent. Choose what's important for you. Learn to say no for what you don't need. Okay, I'm not saying you to stay selfish. Whatever the educational stuff, so academical resources you receive, please share it with others. Okay, please give it to others, because giving it to others also increases your knowledge in one way. Irendra sir used to say this always: teachers can teach you for 74 marks, but that 1 mark which carries you for an A, and the rest of the marks which gives you a good A, depends not only on the teacher, but on the student, how the student works, the self studies. At the same time, how you respect the elders, the teachers, your peers. Your good value also matters so much. Don't just be selfish, because your value, we all belong to a certain religion. We all believe in a certain religion. We all believe in humanity. When you help others, you will get it. That is a natural law. Help anyone. Don't have competition. You study for yourself. Help others. Okay, help others in maximum. Okay, as much as you want, help others, because the nature will reward you. Okay, that's something I can say you as a big sister. Anything else that you want to ask? Hmm, how many months before the exam will the syllabus be covered? 4 months. Madam, what do you think about IT diplomas in 6 months' time? Can we manage with A-level classes? I have heard this diploma lectures are only on Saturdays, but if you don't have school, you can really do, because this is the beginning. No? In the beginning, you can do, but if it is a huge workload, I don't have an idea about the assignments and stuffs because they have assignments and all. No. So you have to, you have to talk to an institute, a private institute, and get to know about that. If that's a huge load of work, don't do that. Did you go to classes in Candy for biology? If so, you can share. For me, actually, I went to Sajid Bandara, sir. He is a final year medical student now. He does not do classes. I went to him for unit 4, 5, and 6. For unit 1, 2, and 3, I actually joined Charita Munasinghe sir's classes, if you all need. Charita Munasinghe sir's online classes. And rest of the units, 7, 8, 9, 10, I studied by myself. This is how my A-level career was. So Charita Munasinghe says classes for the first 3 units, Sajid Bandara for 4, 5, and 6. Actually, sir does not do classes now because he's in the final year. He said he does not have time. And for the rest of the units, I studied by myself. Anything else? Any doubts? That's all. Is it a must to go to school? No, it's not a must to go to school. But some people, what they do is they don't go to school, they sleep until 12 o'clock, wake up at 12 o'clock, and then start working. Don't do that. If you are a private candidate, what's the hardest part of being a private candidate is you don't have term tests and stuff, no. So you don't have an obstacle that is coming up which motivates you to work. So you need to have self-motivation. If you have self-motivation, being a school candidate or private candidate does not matter. You will definitely ace your A levels. Anything else? You can text me anytime. I think you all have my number 076 418 4282. I'm there in the group as an admin. You can text me anytime if you have any doubts. You have anything else to clarify regarding the class or maybe regarding your A-level career. I'll reply you all. So this is basically the introductory session. It's really hard for me to continue it because I'm not well. So definitely next week we are starting our physical classes. We are starting with unit 1 and then we'll be having a good plan to definitely finish your syllabus on time and to give you a good practice with writing reviews, with essays, and with practicals. I'll be doing the important practicals. Not all the practicals in biology practical handbook is important. There are certain important practicals which I'll be giving notes and also will be completing those practicals as well. Yeah, so that's how it is. If you have any doubts, please feel free to message me. And thank you so much for joining. I'll end the session now. And please spread the word to your friends. And if they are interested, let them join. The class will be at Faraday Candy from 1 p.m. onwards from next week. Okay. You're welcome.